Hello everyone, Linda Israel here, and I'm going to show you a couple, I call them little journaling cards. They're about the size of an artist trading card, which is 2.5 by 3.5. This one's a little bit wider, and it's just because that's the size of the scrap of paper I had. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two pieces of paper, and we're going to spray them with some Tattered Angels Glimmer Mists. So I'm just laying these in my spray box, and my spray box is just something that I picked up. It had perfume in it at one time, and it fits in a little drawer that I have near me, so it's perfect for storing. I've got some Tattered Angels Simply Sheer, Plain Jane Simply Sheer, and this one is Safety Orange. So we're going to spray this. Just a couple of little sprays. Even let it have some spots. I just shook it, and where it was in the top of the bottle fell out. And then I have some black, and this one is called Almost Black. So let's take it and splatter it on as well. I don't need a whole lot. I've got a little scrap of paper that I'm just going to use to mop up extra Tattered Angels Glimmer Mists, because I want it to dry really quickly. Well, I want to add some markings to the outside edge, so we're going to use some distressed ink. So I've got walnut stain and a blending tool, and I'm going to just go all the way around the edge of both of these pieces. It's interesting to me how, you can go from a stark white piece of paper and just adding some Tattered Angels and a little bit of distressed ink, and it just changes it drastically. Let's go another step. So I've got a little scrap piece of paper here just to help protect my work surface, and I've got a ruler, and what I'm going to do is line this up where just a small sliver of the edge of that paper is exposed, and then I've got a really cheap permanent marker. I have to get it to focus. Permanent marker from the Dollar Tree, I believe is where I got this one, and they're just cheap markers, and I'm going to go right along the edge of my ruler and this piece of paper. And that's going to give that a nice dark edge. So it's going to look like I matted it with a piece of black when I cheated and used a marker. So I'm going to do that to all three sides that I haven't done. And I'm also going to do it to this piece as well. So I did all the pieces, and prior to the video I took the same type of ivory cardstock. And this is from Canvas Corp Brands. And I used a rubber stamp, and I stamped it onto the ivory cardstock. I splattered it in the same fashion. You can kind of see the background. And then I went around the edge just like I did this piece. So now I have a little sentiment that I can put on top. I'm going to be attaching some tulle to the top of this, and I want to be able to do this and it not move everywhere, and I don't want glue seeping out everywhere. So I've got the No Clog writing cap on top of the Scrap Perfect Best Glue Ever, and what I'm going to do is just go right really close to the edge and make a little bead of glue. And doing this, I can let it air dry for a few minutes and it'll turn clear. And then when I put the tulle on top, it won't seep through the tulle. So I want to set that aside for just a moment and let that dry. I've got the other piece here, and I've already pre-cut some tulle. So basically I bought some tulle, I think last year after Halloween, and it had this gold spider webs on it, and I thought it was kind of neat. So I just cut it to fit on top. So I'm just going to kind of lay that right there for a moment. And then I have a Calico Collage image. It's part of her hallowed Gothic, her Gothic pieces. And what I've done is I have layered these pieces. I'll show you what it looks like. So I started with the Calico Collage image, and then I cut a square out of a yellow a little bit larger, and then I cut one out of black. And before I mounted them together, I used distress ink around the edge, and I just adhered those together. So now I've got this little embellishment that I can use. In fact, I have a bunch that I have pre-made just so I'll have them, because I'm getting ready to make a junk journal and I want all these elements. So the next thing I want to do is I want to attach this to my card. So I'm going to take some of the Best Glue Ever again on the back side. And I'm just making a little zigzag, and that's filling that in. I've positioned the little tool on top of my artist trading card. It's a little bit smaller because it's basically a scrap. And now I'm going to take this little image, and I think I'm going to put it pretty close to the bottom, and I'll press it into place. And then I'll set this aside, and it'll take just a couple of minutes, but it will dry, and this tool will be attached because it's below here, but this piece will be kind of loose, and I just thought that would be kind of neat in case someone wanted to peel it back and write something there, they could. Well, this piece is almost ready. I don't know if you can kind of see that it's still white in some areas and it has turned clear in others. To help speed this up, I'm just going to hit it with my heat tool for just a moment, but not very long because I don't want it to bubble and cook the glue. So I'm looking at my little piece of tool that I cut and looking for the right side. The side with more glitter that's brighter is the correct side. My little glue that I put on here is tacky to the touch. So now I'm just going to gently lay this piece over the top. And I'm use my hand and just press it into place. Looks like I've got a little excess hanging over on this side, so I'm just going to trim it off with my scissors. Now I've got my little sentiment that I made, so we're going to adhere that on top. So put a little glue on it. And I think I'll put it right across the top. And then I've got a little spider that I made, and I made it using cardstock, glitter, and the best glue ever, and I cut it on my Cricut. So I didn't have any black glitter cardstock, so I made my own. I'm just going to put a little bit of the glue on the legs of the spider. So I'm just trying to get a hold of this where I can hold it for a moment. And then let's place this guy on here and press him into place. So there were two relatively simple little journal cards that I made today. I hope you like that idea of using your stamps, using some tulle, using Tattered Angels Glimmer Mists, some Calico Collage images, even making your own die-cut shapes. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, comment below any comments that you have about this project today. Check the description box to links for the items that I use, including my blog posts, social media connectors, etc. Definitely check out my Facebook groups. And let's see, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell that's at the top so that you get a notification the next time I create a video. And thanks so much for watching. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Have a fabulous day. Bye.